Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk. We're going to take you to a live picture here on I-77. You can see that is the sign that normally stretches across 77 there. This is at State Route 21. This is in the Madison or Maslin exit that you would normally take. This is in Summit County, kind of in the Copley Township area. We've been told a semi apparently lost control and hit one of the uprights to that sign. And as you can see, they are now trying to get that cleared because all of 77 is closed at State Route 21. We are hearing that there is at least one injury. We're not exactly sure who that injury is. Was it the semi driver? Was there another vehicle involved when the sign came crashing down? I want to show you a map right now of the area. Just so that you can have an idea. You can see Montrose and Fairlawn are to the east. This is a huge highway when it comes to this area in Summit County. The interchange that would take you to Maslin Road, and we can zoom in just a little bit. Anytime you see that black and white checkered, that shows you that is an actual lane of travel that is closed. It looks like the lanes that are closed are the southbound lanes, but we're seeing that might be a little bit of a difference there. We're in the press release, the information we're getting from the Ohio State Highway Patrol, they're saying that a semi entered I-77 northbound from State Route 21, northbound in Copley Township. It traveled across 3 lanes and struck the median wall. The impact caused that overhead sign to fall across the southbound lane. So that gets us to where we are here. It is the southbound lanes that are closed, and you see that massive sign that's hanging over the road. What I want to do now is our Stephen Hernandez is actually live there with our Eric Walls, battling these conditions. Stephen, I want you to walk us through what you know about this situation and what you can see there safely from the side of the highway.
Absolutely, Dan. We are right next to the highway in a parking lot for a restaurant area in Copley Township. Right behind me, it is cold right now. It's actually still snowing, but that isn't stopping a team from the Ohio State Highway Patrol to work on this fallen sign. Just some moments ago, they took off one of those green signs saying where you're supposed to go when you're driving down this highway, but that work is still being done. Dan, as you mentioned, according to Copley Police, that semi-truck right on the left where that yellow crane is looking over it, that truck was driving northbound on 77, went through across several lanes and struck that highway sign, knocking it over. There is one injury here. Highway Patrol is still investigating specifically what happened. We do not know who is that person that's injured, whether or not it is the truck driver. But as you can see, all of 77 southbound is closed. 77 north is open, but cars are going at a very slow pace. Definitely something that many of these drivers have not seen before. But that work to get this section of the highway open, still underway.
Yeah, so Stephen, I want to get your clarification there because you're on the ground, you're seeing this. In the press releases we're getting from the Ohio State Highway Patrol, they're calling it a semi. But what you pointed out, that gray truck, that looks more like a dump truck. Is that kind of your understanding? That's the one that hit the sign?
That's what we understand, what it appears to be. It does look like a dump truck, definitely a big vehicle anywhere you put it, one that could have left a really big impact on that sign that fell over. But as we can see, that is the truck that has that damage in front. We were actually able to go up a few parking spaces up this hill and get a closer look at it. The damage to the front of that vehicle is actually very substantial.
Wow. What are the conditions? Explain the roads to us. Is it kind of what we're seeing all over Northeast Ohio where you can kind of make out the lanes, or are those lanes completely clear?
There's still some moisture on these roads. They're definitely a lot clearer than maybe some of the side streets, some of the state routes that we've seen, but definitely reason to take caution if you're going from Cleveland down to Akron, if you're coming from the Canton area up through this area. it's important to take caution. There is, it appears to be, it's still wet. There's still a mixture, especially after this weekend's snowfall. All the more reason to take that caution.
Okay, and we want you to be careful too out there, Stephen, along with our videographer, Eric Walls. We will make sure we check in with you. But again, those are massive signs, and Stephen can attest to this because he's out there. I mean, look at the size of the sign compared to the man in the bucket truck above where it says exit 136. I mean, he is tiny compared to even the sign that says exit 136. Those are massive signs, Stephen.
Absolutely. It's probably 2 times, 3 times the height of that person, also counting the extra blue signs on top of that. And then you also have to think about all of the structure to keep all of that standing upright in the middle of any type of condition, like the snowfall from this weekend, any type of storm, any type of high wind. It just goes to show just the impact, the intensity of this crash, and the importance to get all of this clear, because the last thing you want is for this to stay in this precarious position. You don't want it to fall. You have to make sure that this goes down safely and this can be repaired as soon as possible.
Yeah, which also means that this is going to be closed for quite some time. It looks like they're working efficiently out there. They've already got one of the big signs, the green signs, removed. Now they need to get the second one removed, and then they'll have to start working on getting the rest of that metal structure out of there. So the fact that this is a major highway in Summit County, again, we're talking about I-77 southbound lanes. Stephen, they're closed, and it's got to be a traffic disaster in that area.
Yep, so far all of the southbound areas closed, and actually police officers closed the on and off ramps down the street. So there isn't an accumulation of cars right before that fallen sign. Meanwhile, on the other side, going up north, traffic is going, but it's going slowly. People are seeing everything, all of the impact, all of the damage left behind, driving slowly through this area. So if you have plans to take 77 north, take those into consideration as well.
Yeah, Eric's doing a great job showing us the conditions. We can actually see wet pavement. That's pretty impressive for how much snow we got this weekend. That's good work by ODOT. Stephen Hernandez with 19 News, we appreciate it. We will get an update from you live at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. Thanks for being out there for us.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Did just want to bring you that breaking news. Again, this is going to be a major issue. Now, granted, probably not as many people went to work as would normally have been in the mix because of all the weekend snow, all the schools that are closed, but still, that area, I-77 southbound, that's going to be closed for quite some time as they work to get that sign removed, and then the structure that holds up those signs removed out of that area. We will have live updates all throughout our 3.5 hours of news and first alert weather that starts at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. We'll see you after a bit.